Evening, everybody. Firstly, Happy New Year and welcome to the Block 9 podcast. You have tonight myself, Mike, the Crazy Pilgrim. On your screen there, we have Carl, the Green Giant, who has finally managed to get on the show after working night shifts, which don't always fall in line, unfortunately. Marcus, who's a regular with us as well. Missing Andy, he will be hopefully on a little bit later, and we were hoping to get Harvey England on, but he said he'd be in, but he hasn't quite turned up yet. So if he comes in, we'll bring him in. So look, yeah, it was a bit of a emotional week, a lot going on, but we managed to get a point after getting rid of Rooney. It was a hard-fought point in the end. So let's just dive straight into it and let's give you our views on the game. But let's welcome the team. Oh, so Carl, yeah, I must admit, it's a week since Christmas. We had the Coventry game, that was not great. We then obviously went to Oxford and, we were all hoping to get something out of that. The team wanted to turn up and get a result, and it was another disaster, and that was the final nail in the coffin for Wayne Rooney. And I think it was good to go to today's game a bit more positive. Didn't want to go there with all that negative hanging over us, did we? But some good spells in the first half. We tied in the second, I think. Silly goals we gave away, but I think that's the issue with playing with a back three with Gibson out. Yeah, what's your thoughts? What a week, eh?
Yeah, I'm mentally and physically drained after the last week. It's still, I still think it's come too late. But I'm glad Simon's been ruthless and we've started a new year kind of on a positive footing. I feel a bit sorry for Rooney. We all kind of wanted it to work. Obviously, there wasn't many of us that wanted him here in the first place. We always thought it was a kind of a dodgy decision, but we were all backing him. We started the season reasonably well, had some decent results, didn't we? Some really good performances, and we saw kind of what he wanted to kind of bring to the club. But I think once the injuries started to pile up, things got a bit more difficult. He started to change systems, formations, tactics. Then he didn't really know his best 11. And it just was a downward spiral, and obviously not just on the pitch, off the pitch issues as well, which looked like it was kind of raising its head again, which wasn't good to see. So I think in the end we've made the right call. Whether it's done in time or not, we'll soon find out. But I think with January now on the horizon, now with players coming in, hopefully we'll have enough to kick on and give it a good shot again to try and stay up.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Marcus, we didn't go live over the past week due to personal reasons for one of those, and I think, in fairness, the pent up negativity on all the social channels, with the situation going on, it wasn't great, and everybody didn't need another. Not that we try and always be positive, but there was certainly issues that had to be addressed, which other shows did that and did that very well. But Marcus, yeah, it's good to be back on. And today, all right, it wasn't a win, but we didn't lose. 91st minute equaliser, the late show again. But yeah, how have you felt over the past week?
Well, that actually makes a change. Actually, talking about a positive performance. I mean, how many times can you actually talk about another thrashing? Well, everybody getting depressed because that's all we've been having lately. Apart from at least today, we showed some fight and passion, which hasn't been there for the last month or so.
Yeah, so, it's you got Lee Gillies, if I pronounce that right, wanted it to work, but we move on. Really good to see injured personnel on their way back, and good to see Sissoko, absolutely get some minutes. Also, Bader in the stands, which is great. Got something else to add to that, which could be interesting. But if the rumours are true, Gibson will be a huge loss. I think they said in the post-match, Marcus, didn't they, that he was injured supposedly, but we all know this 1.2 million bid transfer to Borough's been talked about over the past couple of days, hasn't it?
Well, the latest one is 1.9 million. So
yeah, is that maybe with add-ons? There'll probably be some add-ons in there, won't it? But
I hope so. I think hopefully we've learned a lesson.
Yeah, even Ben. Yeah. So it's sort of I think the whole situation with it, and we won't dwell on that too much because it is what it is. It will be a part of our history and Rooney's history in a in a sort of illustrious career. But to end that with the worst sort of record in Argyle's management history, it is what it is. And I think there's a lot of decisions. If we look at the build up from that to this game, the announcement that Simon Ireland was going, as well as Mike Phelan. I don't think Mike Phelan was a surprise, to be honest. His loyalties only really lie with Rooney. It was probably too late. I think if Phelan had come in at the start or coming earlier, he alluded to that, didn't he, Carl? That he couldn't, but it might have been a bit different. But the antics off the pitch, sorry, Sophie, the antics off the pitch, it is what it is. There's one thing I'd like to sort of finalise on with Rooney, actually, is, I'm not saying that it definitely is, but if there is an issue with drink, it's important that, people go through those sort of phases, regardless of how much money you've got, and the success you've had, he needs football in his life day to day. And I think that's what he sort of clings on to, and it's important that, he tries to get that sorted if it is deemed an issue. No one wants to see that. But the announcement with Nance, Cavill and Edwards, if we look forward now to the road ahead, I thought, Carl, we all were like, temporary. Nance and Edwards, didn't want to see Dewsnip in there.
No.
We know that there's things going on, but that was at least going to lift everybody, wasn't it, to start with?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that was always going to be the case. I think them two joining up and taking the reins. I don't think Dewsnip was ever going to be in contention to step in again after what's happened over the last two appointments. So yeah, you couldn't ask for anyone other than Nance and Edwards. It was really, really, really weird to see him on the bench and kind of giving Nance some tips and stuff in the background. Hello, Harvey, you all right? How was your KFC? All right?
Oh no, one KFC today. It was a roast. I'm having a day off.
Oh, fair enough. Go on, Carl. Finish off, mate.
But yeah, it was nice to see Edwards on the touchline. I just hope, obviously, he'll have a future with us in that kind of direction one day once he hangs up his boots. He's still got enough in his tank to go until the end of the season once he becomes fit, and hopefully again maybe another season. I think he's still got another couple of years at least to give before he hangs up his boots. But I would love to see him involved at some point.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. And Steve's question there, even in Steve, with Dewsnip going, will we go back to the traditional manager once again? We'll come on to that, when we talk about the options, after the match analysis. But Harvey, sort of good to get you on. I know you've joined us on the TikTok ones, and you struggle as well with working shifts like Carl to always get on these. But for everybody that's joined us tonight, just to give you sort of a rundown, ourselves as a Block 9 podcast, we sort of started this off, and I know there's people that have said, oh, there's too many of these, but there can never be too many people talking about Argyle, can there? But certainly, we started off on TikTok. We put it on there. It was generally streamed on my channel on there because of the way it works. I still do videos on there, but we decided to move it across because of changes on there, and we wanted to bring it to a wider audience. And we know there's a lot of following on X. We got 370 plus people in tonight, which is fantastic. Really appreciate that. So we just want to give our view on it and bring something different. We do have channels on YouTube at Block 9 Podcast. We do have it on X, but we don't currently stream to it yet. Facebook as well, so you can go on there and like and subscribe to those, and also give us all an individual follow. You've got me as at the Crazy Pilgrim on all those social channels, and Carl is active as well, and Andy, who's not with us tonight. But one person who is a vlogging expert on Argyle, goes to lots of away games, and I think considering the away following that Argyle have, Harvey is definitely recognised. A lot of you will that are in with us tonight. You've travelled some miles to witness some dross, that's for sure. Hopefully Stoke can be a turnaround, but yeah, how are you feeling, Harvey?
Yeah. Well, yes, it's been a long couple of months. I think I seen somewhere it's like the last Argyle away win Since then, Argyle fans have travelled 7,800 miles, and I haven't missed a game. So I've travelled that many miles. No, but yeah, I think we're on the brighter horizon now. I think that Rooney going, he's gone at the right time. If he had to go, he had to go around this period,
Yeah.
so it gives us still half a season to get anything back if we can. But I think the problems spout deeper into it's more the lineup. I think we definitely need some investment in January, and hopefully Beidou, like you spoke about, will be a good addition if we can get that sorted.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, do you know what? It's the one I sort of streamed the warm up from the game as well to X earlier, and sort of, I started to get sort of a bit butterflies in my stomach, because you always hope that there will be a bit of a turnaround, with a change in management and stuff like that, even though it's not the what will be the incoming manager, I suppose, but with Nance and Edwards coming in. But you've still got to remember, for all of Rooney's faults, the squad is heavily depleted. With like we said just now, with Gibson, absent, supposedly due to injury, but it does look like he might go. I said that a few months ago. I felt he was playing so well, even when we weren't doing that great, that I'd be amazed if someone didn't pick him up. I believe we have another year option on his contract, so I'm hoping we get something decent for him. But with a back three, and I'll just share this screen. I do like to try and provide some slides, but I haven't had time today. But just off FOTMob, back three of Zooks, Pleguezuelo and Galloway was always going to be a bit tough when you're coming into the sort of type of game that is going to mean. Let me bring us back in. That's going to sort of be... I think the goals say it all, don't they, Marcus? The goals that went in against us, probably due to having a bit of a weaker defence.
Well, we have got a weak defence and do need a couple of new centre backs, but but the first goal was offside anyway, so that shouldn't have counted.
So just a quick one on everybody's thoughts. Let me just get rid of this because I'm covering my face. Not that you want to see that. Are you saying Carl was offside or onside?
I haven't actually seen it back yet. I've seen all the press conferences and the interviews and stuff. I haven't actually seen the highlights, but in real time, it looked off for me.
Yeah, I've got a VT from. I couldn't use the videos that you sent me, Harvey, but we'll try and play the Sky Sports highlights. But Harvey, are you saying it's onside or offside?
Yeah, to me it looks offside, because as Hazard's come out, he's in front of Hazard towards the Devonport end, which to me would suggest he was offside. Yeah, like I watched it back, and I think we could have been hard done by.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, other than that, just in terms of the rest of the lineup, Sorinola, who, considering if you're trying to find, a positive from the Oxford game, he was one of them. I thought he did really, really well again today. Sort of fell off a little bit at the end, but I think, a lot of tired legs in there. Randall and JB in the middle, with Mumba as well. And then you had Whitaker and Al-Haj playing into Hardy. So, besides Gibson, obviously missing, not too dissimilar to the last game with the lineup there. So yeah, look, like I said, I felt a little bit edgy because you just don't know what's going to happen, and it's not like it's a full squad. It's not like the managers come straight in. So sort of, I think the players did really, really well, and I think we started the game right. We went straight at Bristol City, took it to them. Took a lot of the momentum in that first half before the goal. We did create a couple of chances, and we'll see that on the VT in a minute. With probably Hardy, Carl, with our best chance, and maybe he should have just been a bit more gentle with that rebound.
I think it's just a little bit of rustiness from him. He hasn't played a terrific amount of football. Obviously, he's still got his stitches in his knee, which probably isn't helping. But I think overall he's struggled this season in front of goal. I think last season he was obviously probably a bit more fitter and a bit stronger last season, and he scored some goals for us in this league. But I think it's just one step too far. I think if we do get a bid from Wrexham or Huddersfield for $2 million, we got to take that, snap their hands off of that, and reinvest it.
It would be. It would be an interesting one. I will see. Hang on,
he just misses too many chances for my liking.
I think
If
so,
you,
and yeah, there is that rustiness a bit, isn't it? I mean, sort of Marcus, is he worth £2 million?
No,
no,
that's where you snap your hand off.
if we get 2 million for him, it's a miracle because we wouldn't get 700,000 for him. I can't see 2 million, not for Hardy, and someone's buying Gibson for 1.9. Gibson's worth about around 2 million, but not Hardy.
No, I think it's look. The one thing that I've always said about Hardy is his fitness levels, his stamina in a game is second to none. But I mean, Harvey, do you think he's worth? I mean, that's supposed to be as a 2 million buyout clause in his contract. But if you could get around £1 million for him, even you would sort of, like Carl said, bite your hand off even at that, surely.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, definitely. I think Hardy's a great League One striker, but I think in the Championship he hasn't quite got it.
No.
So definitely shake your hand off. But it's the same with Gibson. Gibson, if we can get we're just under 4 million for the pair of them, that's a great starting point to get some players in before the end of January. And you got to look at how these players have come in, the price that we've brought them in for, and the price we're selling them on. It's a great profit to the club.
Yeah, it is. I think it's yeah. It's
Gibson
just a
was a
shame
free, wasn't
he
he?
hasn't had enough of a run, has he? Go on, sorry, mate.
Gibson was a free, wasn't he? Free transfer,
Yeah,
wasn't he? That's
yeah.
a bargain, that is.
Yeah, well,
That's a win-win for us.
the data, that has been questioned so much in 2024, has paid off for us with a few players, that's for sure. So I think, sort of, obviously we eventually conceded, and like I said, we'll show the goals in a minute. Awful bit of defending, really. I think that was the story of both goals for Bristol City, in my view, is they sort of did manage to split our defence up with some quick passing, and they did get the goals. And this is what it's all about in this league, isn't it? It's taking your chances. I think we did have Rami Al-Haj had a good effort as well, didn't he, in the first half, where that could have given us a couple of goals and buried the game, really. And I think the lads sort of second half, you wanted to see a bit of a showing. I think it was more edgy. I felt more edgy, at half time, because you just thought, is this one going to slip away with all the situation that we've had? And Bristol did come at us quite hard, didn't they? In the second half, and then some brilliant team play in the build up to that goal for Rami Al-Haj. And Carl, I mean, to be fair to him, his finish, when you watch the replay and you see he tucks it in the left corner,
Yeah.
it was easy just to smash it straight at the middle of goal, and it might have got a deflection. But, that was a wonderful goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great from him. The finish was fantastic. The build-up play was brilliant as well. And the cross in from Whitaker was pinpoint, wasn't it? Fantastic finish. And hopefully he can settle in the side now, and we'll see a lot more of that, because that's what we've been missing ever since Azaz left, that kind of number 10. Obviously, we might see obviously Beidou coming in soon. Whether he would take that position or he would kind of be up front, because I know he plays up front for Elfsborg as well sometimes. It'd be interesting to see how we line up with kind of Whitaker, Al-Haj and Beidou, whether we can have a 3 behind a 1 potentially. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, fantastic play for the goal. And the second goal by Pleggy, which was nice to see him finally get his first Argyle goal, was a tidy finish as well.
Yeah, and he was quite. I did record that one. I did upload the Rami celebration. I did have the one with the Pleggy as well. I just haven't got round to uploading it. But very emotional. You saw a lot of emotion come out of him in that celebration. And again, another 91st minute winner. But sticking
And
with
just to give a quick shout, as Lee has just said about Sornola, I thought he had another great game. I think he was one of the brightest sparks at Oxford, putting his body on the line, blocking shots. And again today, I thought he was quite impressive. He seems to be impressing me more than Mumba at the minute.
Yeah, he's sort of come into the games when he's been given the opportunity. He's taken it, in fairness, and obviously he was on a free as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was out of work at the time. I mean, just going through the players, if you can see on the screen now, I appreciate if you're on your mobile, it might be a bit too small, but sort of working from the back going forward. Hazard a 7.9. I think he did. You'll see it in the VT in a minute. He pulled off a really good save, to stop us. Go in. I think that would have been 3-1 then, I think. I'm trying to remember now, or 3-1. But he pulled off a couple of good saves. His distribution, that's always the issue with Hazard, and it's what people are going to sort of always challenge. But I think his shot stopping, was showing today, and I think with Grimshaw, it's just getting his confidence back again. Zooks, I didn't think he had too bad a game considering he was missing his partner in crime, and he normally is unsettled, when he's not with Gibson, and obviously pushed out on the right there. Pleguezuelo in the middle, who, 8.1, I think, had a really good game, not just the goal. Galloway, 6.2, probably about right in that. And then we come on to, the midfield, and Sorinola, as you just said there, Carl, absolutely. Randall, 7.5. Actually,
I think that's a bit generous for Randall, if
Yeah.
I'm honest, because I think he's been quite poor of late. I know he tends to play better at home and he tends to pick up a lot of man of the match awards, but especially away from home when we've struggled in the big heavy losses, I think he's gone missing. And today, I don't think he was. I mean, he was okay. I just don't think he was his usual kind of self at home, and he got caught on the ball quite a lot, and his passing wasn't fantastic. I thought JB's score there is a bit harsh. I thought he did okay as well. But yeah, I think Randall's really struggling of late. I think he could do with someone a bit stronger with him in midfield.
Yeah, I mean, Harvey, I saw a lot of comments, on Randall sort of not having his best game. JB, so I'm a little bit surprised at a 7.5. JB, I'm not, to be fair, actually, in my opinion, Carl. I think he certainly looked really tired in the second half, and I think you've got to remember Randall and JB have played quite a lot of the games recently. But Harvey, what's your thoughts on those today?
Yeah, I think Randall's always a tricky one. I think there's a lot of opinions divided about Randall. I especially think there's been games where he's been slated by fans, and I thought he's played really well. I think in this formation, in this Argyle side, being a central midfielder is quite tough. With the back three and the inexperience in the back three, and having to drop deep, pick up the ball, and often or not, when they pick up that ball at the edge of the 18 or halfway through our half, they're often pressed quickly and effectively by more experienced players. But yeah, I do think that Randall rating's definitely a bit generous, but I think he's got a very tough role at playing in that centre of the park.
Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
Middlesbrough have just scored against Hull, 94th minute.
Oh god, it was other results didn't go our way. So although Cardiff ended up drawing, I think, in the end, didn't they? But it's just that gap.
Brilliant goal.
That gap, Carl. We've got to it just shows how important that Oxford game in hand is going to be. Portsmouth winning again 4-0, I see as well. So
it's just a massive shame, isn't it, Mike? We had a great opportunity against Oxford to try and pick up some points, and today I thought we were probably good enough for the 3 points if we defended a bit better, and that gap would have been halved instantly. So yeah, that's a good result if Middlesbrough hold on from the last few seconds.
I'm just laughing at the comment from Ben on screen. Evening, Ben. Ben joins us.
It's like a camel.
So but bless him. I can't fault him because he's done well for us in the main. But yeah, I think it is. Those two have done a lot of games. I think Harvey, you're right. He is one of those that can get a lot of negativity at times. But he's won a lot of man of the match awards as well. In fairness to him, and he's born and bred. And when you've got that sort of player, in your squad, you want them because they're going to dig deep. Mumba. Yeah, it was an okay game. I mean, 6.7 they've scored him there. He's not had the best of games at home, in the last two, has he really, in my opinion, Mumba? Harvey, for you, that one?
Oh, me? Oh,
sorry, mate.
No, I think Mumba goes in and out of spells, doesn't he? He's either on fire or he's a little bit shy, and I think it must be sort of a confidence thing. I think I've seen it, especially today, where he's had the opportunity to go up players and he hasn't. He's either played the diag or he's laid it off to someone else. So it's possibly a confidence thing, but I don't know. Hopefully, when Mumba's on fire, he's quite unplayable at times. I could say, and him and Sissoko, now Sissoko's back, could be a deadly duo.
Yeah, I think. I mean, Marcus sort of I put him down as the sort of player, most improved player for the sort of first part of the first half, if you could say that, of the season. Before everything went Pete Tong from Leeds onwards, and he does. In fairness, Sissoko then went off with that red card, didn't he? As Harvey said, he is the type of person that does link up with someone like Sissoko really well. So hopefully we can sort of see Mumba getting back to his best in that sort of style of play, Marcus, don't you think?
Yeah, Mumba needs like a combination because he seems to have to go quite a few times at Isaka. So, but he seems to feed off players that he connects with. If you don't connect with them, he seems to be quite poor.
Yeah, absolutely, and
But,
he still has that habit of slipping a little bit. Right, just to stop for a second there in flow. Andy has now joined us. So, how are we feeling, Andy? Obviously, we had a good chat at the end of the game as we were walking back home. And
sorry, guys.
Do you know what? Go on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Go on,
obviously,
it's
it's
a
a
say.
point.
I didn't hear what you said.
That's all right. That's all right. It's New Year's Day. There's been a lot going on. There's always going to be a bit of confusion, but yeah. Look, it's good to have you in. Obviously, we've got a full suite,
Thank you.
even with Harvey in tonight. But yeah, how are you feeling after the past week?
After the past week, well, big changes, isn't it? We had to make the change. We had to get rid of Rooney, really, and I'm sort of glad that Mr. Puppet Master's gone as well.
Well, we don't know
we had to
100% that yet, though, do we?
it's not official yet, is it?
There's lots of reports going that he has gone. Yeah, so. But anyway, I feel better now he's gone, and I hate saying that because I thought you could have tried to give him a chance, but I just think he wasn't cutting it. As a manager, he had to bring feeling in. It's funny how the players have come back so soon. Sissoko was supposed to be out till sort of mid-January, Whittaker out until January, and then Hardy out till mid-January. So it's funny how they're sort of suddenly back in the team, isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah, no. Well, we were just running through, the sort of the players today. Obviously some, standouts. I think there was a lot of tired legs. We were just saying with Randall and JB. I think JB's score there on the screen is fairly reflective, as is Mumba's. We were just coming into, we were saying about Sorinola. I know you and I spoke about that.
He was brilliant.
He's done really well over. Yeah, I think actually the games that he has been involved in, Andy. There's probably only been one or two where, or I know he's not been involved in a lot, but where he hasn't. It hasn't been great, but he's been fairly consistent in most, hasn't he?
He gives what I like about Sorinola is he's got that passion. He wants to wear the shirt. Okay, that's what I saw today. He wants to wear the shirt, even though he messes up sometimes. He wants to wear the shirt. He wants to play for Plymouth Argyle Football Club, and that's important. Yeah. This is what Joe Edwards requires now, and Nance require. And I'm sure the new manager that comes in, whoever that may be, will sort of say, yes, we need players who want to play for the badge, and actually give the 100%. And I thought Sorinola did really well today.
Yeah, definitely. And then sort of, coming on to Rami Al-Haj, it's so clear with Rami, Carl, isn't it, that he has to play in a free-flowing game of passing football, because again against Oxford, where it was another disaster, it is always that case away. He was invisible again almost, because there was just nothing going on. But again today, with that score of 7.9 with a brilliantly finished goal, he did well, didn't he?
That movement for the whole first goal. Sorry, Carl. Sorry, Carl.
Because he's been out for 20 minutes.
Just because you've been sat there eating.
No, I've had my dinner, okay? Sorry to all my fans for being late today. I do apologise. I'm here now, though. You can relax.
Go on, Carl.
It's fantastic to see him back in the lineup again, and I think obviously playing at home when we look like we want to try and play on the front foot, that's going to suit him, isn't it? In away games, you might see less of the ball and might struggle, but yeah, it's good to see him put in another solid performance, cracking goal. That's what was it, 2 now for us, or 3 scored? But yeah, he's starting to settle in now. Middlesbrough got final score 1-0.
Brilliant.
That's great. Lovely
that is
stuff.
Good news.
Decent result.
Yeah,
but yeah,
thanks,
cracking finish, and I'm really excited to see once Beidou gets announced how those 3 will work together. Al-Haj, Beidou, and Whittaker. I think that could be quite tasty, and Sissoko back as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how we can kind of get all of them in the same lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. And the sort of star man for me today, he got man of the match. Morgan Whittaker. He showed signs of getting stuck in at Oxford on players. Something that I have criticised him for at times. His off the ball work. Generally is pretty good and goes unnoticed. By people, but it's he just got stuck in straight away. He moved across the pitch. Was influential in sort of setting up some passing moves. And obviously he had that shot that was I'm not sure if it was deflected off the defender's leg and then the keeper tipped it over because it had a wicked dip as soon as he struck it. But yeah, he was Harvey. It just is he going or is he not? If he was definitely going to go to the likes of Burnley, I don't think he would have started today. I don't think he's going to go anywhere.
Well, I don't know, but I seen someone write in the chat just now, and I spoke to a few people at the ground about it at half time and stuff. It seems like it's the old Whittaker. It seems like it's that Whittaker which, when he gets the ball, he's going to go at defenders. He's going to cause problems. He's going to win us fouls. When we haven't got the ball, he's going to be one to get the crowd going because he's going to go put that challenge in.
Yeah.
And possibly you might be right if he might have the plans to stay now that Rooney's gone, with the talks of possibly his relationship with Schumacher, and Schumacher was the manager to get the best out of him. If Schumacher's coming back, possibly that might give him the incentive to stay. But I think as long as he's giving performances like that, it's happy for us Argyle fans to see.
Yeah, it is, and sort of the fact that him, Hardy, and Roberts, wanted to play, to try and get something out of the Oxford game, for whatever reasons, obviously it didn't work, but I think Whittaker still loves the club, still loves the town. I think Shuey, when we come on to that, the options and what may or may not happen, I think is it will give a lift if you want, regardless of the circumstances. I've been critical and said I don't think Hallett will want him back, but sometimes you have to just sort of look at the situation and sort of say what's best for the club. But yeah, he was Marcus. It's just good to see him getting stuck in and getting a couple of shots away, isn't it?
I think he knew. I think, to be honest with you, the way he played, he's buzzing his mates coming back because it was a completely different Whittaker.
Yeah,
He
I
actually
love
played,
that.
even when Obafemi scored a while back, he looked miserable as hell. He didn't go over and celebrate.
No, that was coming off at the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, and yet yesterday he looked happy, so he knows something's going on.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Marcus, this is the time warp yesterday. What were you on about, mate? This afternoon.
He's still feeling the after effects of last night.
Yeah.
God. So and then obviously Hardy up front today, Andy. Sort of he missed that big. He should have probably taken a bit more care with the shot, but I get that he's desperate to score. He's been Carl hit the nail on the head. He's going to be a bit rusty. He's still got that knee bandaged up. But what other options? Gray doesn't have the pace up front, does he? Obafemi sort of again to a degree showed why you wouldn't pit him as first choice in the squad.
I thought he did very well, Hardy, in the circumstances. Where he's got this gash on his knee and it's still recovering. He's ploughing a lowly furrow up front, wasn't he? And the ball wasn't getting through to him enough. And I think we talked about Al Haj earlier on. Al Haj could have had that sort of link up play with him. It's difficult for him, isn't it? Because you feel for him up on his own there. You're going to have someone up there with him. It's going to be 4-4-2 for me.
Yeah, I think so. And it's going to be.
I don't think Obafemi is the answer. Sorry.
No, I think. And go on.
I don't think Obafemi's the answer. I'll send him back to Burnley. That's the only one I'll send to Burnley. Is Obafemi.
Yeah.
He's terrible.
He can be really good, and he can irritate the hell out of defenders.
He's very inconsistent.
Exactly that, Carl.
But if the rumours are true that he's late for training, that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
Well, this is send him straight back.
Yeah, this is my issue with I did put on my TikTok video yesterday about Neil Dewsnip and the fact that it sounds like he's gone or leaving the club. I think the fact that Rooney feeling went straight away, Simon Ireland went, who was a Dewsnip appointment as well. The fact that he wasn't in the dugout in any way, shape, or form. I don't know if he was at the ground. If anybody knows in the comments,
I don't think he was.
Put that in there.
Yep.
Let's not forget he's really struggling with the flu at the minute.
He's got man flu. Yeah, he has got bad man flu. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So the past 2 years can be completely forgotten.
How sad.
Football is a results game, and with that director of football role, you are there to set the club up. From getting the head coach to do what you want him to do. All the other stuff that goes on, and it's quite an involved role that has a lot of decision making in that process. It's one of those where, look, he's done well for the club over time, and eventually sort of all good things, can and do come to an end. And I just think for me, it's one of those where, probably Hallett's put a lot of faith and trusted his decision making. I stand by that. I believe he was very influential. This is just my view in terms of bringing Rooney to the interview table in the first place and influencing the decision. Yeah, even though all three of them took that decision, but I think at the end of the day, you've got to make changes. I said as well that they're deeper rooted. You've got to look at all areas of the club to understand what's going on. But if you don't have, and he is part-time, so he's not there every week, if you don't have boots on the ground and monitoring what is going on, so if the rumours about the training were true, with Rooney turning up late and not 100%, and like you just said about Obafemi, that to me is totally unacceptable. You don't run your business, don't go at the range where Chris accepts the fact that a manager might turn up an hour or two late just because at the end of the day you're running a business, you're running a football club. It's got to be done properly. You can't have people taking a mickey.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you got the manager. Even whether it's what happened, what didn't happen, if you've got manager in bars, singing karaoke, getting rat-assed, how can you discipline the players when the manager's doing the same thing?
Yeah, that's why I think eventually, the hammer
set an example.
had to fall. It is, and we can only say that those are rumours. We obviously know the cider press video was genuine. Several people did react to that video that went out last Friday, was it, or whatever, and when Twitter had a meltdown. I always say to the guys in the chat, don't always take everything as gospel immediately, and it proved obviously to not be the case. Hidden agendas, all that jazz, but we'll move on from it, now. But just picking up the stats up there, I always like to just sort of give a stats overview. Shots on target, 7 to us, 6 to Bristol City. That feels about fair. 5 off target to us, 2 to them. Block shots not so interested in possession, 56-44. That was probably fair over the balance of the game. Certainly Argyle had the first half, with Bristol City having more of the second half. You got corner kicks, offsides, etc. 1 yellow card, which I thought was harsh on Sorinola, in fairness.
Yeah, that was harsh. I thought it was the other way around, if I'm honest.
Well, they both went in strong. We could see it from our side. They both did go in
you
strong.
saw it because you were running the line, Mike.
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah. So, that linesman, was
terrible.
Awful. Yeah, let me just try and adjust this screen view here, or I might go to full screen. Actually, I'm just going to see if I can just play this. So this will be the it's a Sky Sports highlights of the game. So let me just see if this will run. It might be a bit laggy for some of you, but just bringing it in. So here we go. Rami Al-Haj with a shot.
He's got a side foot that. He's got a side foot that.
Yeah, he's got a score.
He just needed,
Great shot by Haj. This is what he's got, Haj.
Yeah.
It's a good save, to be fair.
That missed by Hardy. Shocking.
He's got a side foot that to the net.
It changes the game, I think. If Hardy scores that, it changes the rest of the first half.
You're going to go to the first goal, though, aren't you? Offside, definitely offside for me.
So it's obviously when you pause it, but you can see, you won't be able to see if you're watching it on your phone, but there we go.
Offside. That's offside.
Yeah, that's offside.
That's the ball forward.
Yeah, Harvey, you're right with that in terms of, he's behind even Hazard, isn't he?
Yeah, that's how it looked from this angle. For me.
Yeah, that's offside. You'll say the ball,
way off,
ball, isn't it?
It looks close.
Tight.
It looks close.
It's very tight.
Let me just put the volume down on that a little bit. That's tight.
And you can sort of see it when he scores as well.
This is a great save.
Yeah, hell of a save that.
So that would have taken them 2-0.
Harvey would have caught that, to be fair.
I don't think Grimshaw gets near that.
No.
No.
Not
No.
a
Harvey
recent
might have done, though.
performance.
Harvey,
This
this is
brilliant
great
play,
move.
brilliant build-up play.
This whole move right from the start was brilliant, and that's a
Yeah.
good
It's
goal as
it's
well.
an excellent finish as well, isn't it? It's very composed. It's a very composed,
Yeah.
It
excellent
was the
finish.
first time shot.
I
Yeah.
like Morgan in black boots as well. It suits him.
Yeah, Whittaker was brilliant today, I thought.
Just the way
Yeah,
he
good
places
goal.
that in the corner. This is the best angle to see it from. I thought he just
Yeah.
smashed it straight in the middle.
Again, that little ball by Sorinola, that little side football.
Look
That's
how
a
that
good
is.
goal.
Brilliant
I
finish.
thought I had the best view of it as at the top of block one. The view of it I had was brilliant.
Here's the shot coming.
Yeah. Oh, it's a good save. Keeper tips onto the bar, didn't he?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it took a deflection off the boot of number 6, which made it, sort of really dip.
Yeah,
I had deja vu when I saw Whittaker pick up the ball there of Ipswich in League One.
I was just about to say that, the Ipswich goal, yeah.
Look
So
at this.
this
Let's split us open. Nice little
Hazard
chip.
could have stayed big there. He should have stayed big for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Split second
Yeah.
decision, wouldn't it? If he'd stayed big there, I don't know what you thought. What do you think about that, Harvey? Because you're a keeper, aren't you? Should he have stayed bigger there?
Especially with the angle that he's coming in at. I do agree.
It just gave him an option, didn't it, to chip him, and that's what he did.
Yeah.
He could have stayed on his line, I guess.
And this is
Cool. And this is a good
brilliant.
save. Long
This is
shot,
brilliant.
but good save. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I thought he had a decent game, Hazard, to be fair.
Well, he got a
Yeah,
good rating in the end.
Yeah, he
so.
did. He did have a good game.
We never really concede many with Hazard in goal. I think
No, we
That's
don't.
another
the
one
opening day.
Grimshaw would have conceded.
Oh, and that's just off. Is that for his studs, isn't it?
I know, he
think he's
almost
set it down.
takes it the hard way, doesn't he? You think, why isn't he going in with his head and then just sticks his boot up in the air?
It was a great reaction though to realise the ball was there.
Yeah.
The ball was bobbled there. Because how many times you see it where the ball's bobbling straight out or the defenders have caught onto it first.
Obafemi,
really well.
it was a good little assist, but I mean, you didn't even know nothing about it. Obafemi, it almost hit the back of his head, didn't it?
It's It
a roast gallery at this.
typical. I'm getting all the prime position here. I should have shaved. I had a shave today.
You can grow a beard, Mike.
No, I can't. Trust me.
Yeah.
I haven't shaved for 12 months. I think look, it was another late minute winner, and I think it would have been a really, really cruel end to the past week, I think, with all the circumstances going on, the 2 away defeats, Coventry, Oxford, then, getting rid of Rooney and then hoping to get a bit of a turnaround. I think confidence was still, you could still see there were spells of the confidence that were gone there. There was tired legs on that pitch, but to dig deep and just sort of come away and get a 91st minute equaliser is just
shows a bit of guts, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, and I think
play
because
to the final whistle.
Yeah, it has been poor, Carl. Hasn't it? And I think we needed a lift. Win would have been fantastic because of the gap at the bottom, but.
It could have been massive getting those 3 points, especially with the whole result this evening going into Stoke away, and then the home games coming up over these next few weeks. We've got a lot of points to play for, and I just hope that it would be ideal if Schumacher comes in before Saturday. It would just be written in the stars, wouldn't it, to get a return against Stoke, get our first away win, get off the bottom of the table, going into obviously we've got the Brentford game coming up in a couple of weeks as well, which is going to be, I think that's frightening. I don't know what kind of side we're going to put out or what Argyle will turn up, but who knows? That's a
hopefully with Beatty.
So
hopefully with Beatty on the side.
Yeah, well, let me just bring up. Let me just go back to the screen share. So this is
QPR and Oxford. Ooh.
Yeah, so this is where it's going to be important. Yes. So Stoke away on Saturday. By the way, I'm going with Gavin. Harvey, I'm guessing you're going.
I'll be there.
Yeah, so that's gonna. We were gonna do an overnight, but I did say to him, having dealt with a supplier and been to Stoke a couple of times, I said it is a hole. So
12:30 kickoff.
we want to stay. It is at 12:30, so we're leaving about 6:30 to go up, driving up. And then, will Schumacher be there for that one or not? We'll come on to that in a minute. I can see Stevie Vaughan's put that question in. I'm banking on that, and so is Gavin. I'm not, look, I don't go to a lot of away games, certainly nowhere near the length of Harvey. But, if I can get a chance to go with someone, then I will do where I can. A lot of commitments with kids and work, so it doesn't always work out. But yeah, after Stoke, we got then obviously Brentford in the cup game, which could be an absolutely get a mullering from them, but they're not going to pit out. I'd be amazed if they field a strong side, knowing how we've been playing away.
Well, it's their only chance of silverware, isn't it? I can't see them having a massively weakened side, so I reckon it'll be pretty.
Yeah,
strong.
It's a good point. Yeah, good point, Carl. And then we come into a really important round of games, really. So it's Oxford, obviously the rearranged fixture. That they got another win today. So I think it was a 1-0, wasn't it? So important, really, that we get something from this game, and if we have the new manager in place, will help. QPR then after that, who have also picked up some points recently, and then obviously Burnley.
Those two games at home are massive. We need 6 points, because when you look at the next few games, Burnley, Sunderland, West Brom, and Luton, that's a really tough run.
Yeah, it is. It is, and I think and I think it's for a manager coming in, whoever that is, to have sort of 3 home games on the bounce. You couldn't wish for a better start. I think we were dealt a bit of an awful hand, really, in that last run of games. There was so many away games with, I think, 2 home games, and it just felt like it was never going to fall into place, no matter what you try to do with Rooney with the fixtures. But that's a big sort of run of games at home for the new manager to take advantage of. So just bringing that up. So I suppose we better touch that subject then, gents. There's a few things with this that we're talking about transfers. If before a new manager comes in, are you going to want to sign new players? Obviously, we've got Michael Baidoo, who does feel and is getting touted now as a dead cert. There's the Brian Reynolds from America that looks really good. He was touted as well. There's a cut. Obviously Dan's from Liverpool. Is that still an option? So do you bring these players in? And I'll come to you, Harvey. But will the manager that's coming in want these players? Which is where you wonder, if it is tied up with Shuey, whether or not conversations may have happened on this. But it'd be unusual to do that, wouldn't it? With rather than wait until the manager is appointed.
Yeah, well, you've seen it at clubs in the past where the players been brought in the summer, and then the new managers come in and they haven't been able to find form. But you could say that with the whole of the first team, really. The regular starters now, you could say it with the likes of Rami Al-Hajj, has only just broke into the first team recently. A new manager comes in, if he doesn't like his style of play, he's only coming in the summer. And I think what Argyle need to do, the signings they make, they need to make sure they're quality, because I think as long as you've got the quality there, a manager will be able to work with them, whoever that may be, whether it is Shuey or someone else.
Yeah, it's as I just put up there, Shuey, a done deal. Folks, where you are, please put some comments in the chat, and we'll try and put them up like we have done. So it's always good to get everybody's thoughts.
Don't forget, our first summer signing was Ogbeta, and that was before Rooney arrived. So they will have plans to sign players regardless of what managers come in.
Yes, yeah,
possibility of Luke Cundle as well.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say no to him. I wouldn't say no to him.
So if I'm going to have to switch back to this screen now, in terms of I've got them up for those that haven't noticed the tabs, but there was photos a photo that went around today showing, I didn't get a chance to put it up quick enough, but Michael Baidoo, there's been reports of him jogging on the Hoe and all this sort of stuff. You sort of, there was a bit of nervousness on whether or not the Rooney dismissal would affect this. For those that remember, it was quite clear that Baidoo seemed to be determined to get over to us in the summer. He wanted to play for Rooney. He really wanted to get out, and for one reason or another couldn't make it in the end. Shame, really, because he would have been, I think, really useful then. So he's a striker. I didn't realise that. I thought he was more of an attacking midfielder.
No, he was a striker. Yeah, primary striker.
Yeah, so Andy, I apologise earlier, because you were right on our WhatsApp group. So 25 years old, Ghanaian, Ghanaian, if I pronounce that right. Market value of 2.3 million. I believe we've got him at quite a good price. They are in off season at the moment. They're out of Europe, so that also won't have helped with his value for him. 2024, 10 goals, 4 assists, started 25 matches out of 27. Player rating of 7.25, which is a pretty damn good average. 1 red card in all of that, with a couple of yellows. And also, alongside him was supposedly this player. Now, Ibrahim Buhari, I wouldn't have even pronounced that right. But Bari, thank you, Carl. But again from Elfsborg. Now, he could have been over just to support, with the off season, to support Beidou with his transition. But boy, could we do with a centre back if Gibson's going?
Yes.
So yeah, Andy, what do you think? Beidou sounds like it is a done deal. It would be good maybe if we can get a centre back in if Gibson is going with this guy at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard reports that he's off. Gibson's off to Middlesbrough for 2 million. It was 1 point. It's been sort of 1.1 or 1.9 at some stage, and then it's 2 million. So having Buhari coming in with Beidou will be a bonus, wouldn't it? And if we can get him at that sort of price, even.
He's right-footed as well. Is Gibson right-footed?
Gibson,
Yes.
I believe he is. Yeah.
Yes, he is.
That'd be like for like replacement, wouldn't it?
It is like for like, and again, do the board know that Gibson is on his way and that they want to bring this guy in as well?
We did exactly the same with Scaro, didn't we? With Souks.
Yeah,
Scott. Yeah, as soon as he went, we had Souks coming in straight behind that. That is true, Marcus. I think it's it could be a potential. It's exciting if it does pan out to be that. Looking at his stats, sort of obviously no goals, not unusual for a centre back. Started 13 out of 16 matches. He's rating of 6.72, 4 yellows, 1 red card, but he is a defender. So yeah, I think it would be good. It would be good to sort of replace Gibson, because it does worry me that if we can't get a centre back in quickly, that it's going to leave us. It's going to leave us even more exposed on that side of things.
Although saying that, I thought Pleguezuelo played really well today with Zooks.
Oh yeah, he was good.
Yeah, his rating was awesome today, absolutely awesome, and he's composed on the ball as well. He's a good professional.
Yeah, it's he's done well. Considering he's had to sit on the bench a lot as well, isn't he?
This defender is for Augsburg. Is he the actual captain?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Because we definitely need 1 or 2 leaders.
Yeah, it's a good point, Marcus. It's sort of Houghton obviously is generally second in command to Edwards, who's obviously been out of favour. A few people did wonder, myself included, whether or not Houghton would get a start today. But he could be another one that could be off.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, we got like I said the other day, we got to be ruthless if we want to be. A championship club, we want to stay up. We need quality, and sadly, he hasn't got that quality to do it in this league. League One, fantastic player, and even last season, I thought he was decent. But in the long run, we need to be looking at better players.
Yeah, I just that a lot.
Yeah, just suddenly looking over Carl's right shoulder at his Schumacher picture. Is that on the wall?
Yeah, I still kept
it. Ben Wayne, isn't it? I thought it was Ben Wayne.
Ben Wayne, it's not Ben Wayne, mate. No.
Oh dear,
I've got that one in the closet.
Sure is that, lovely boy.
It's
the whole lovely boy.
The whole
back, Marcus.
The whole Schumacher thing. If you were looking at it, you would sort of say there's a lot of things that point in that direction. I think the fact that there was a big one for me, and obviously if that rumor is true, as I just dropped one of my old keyboard there. I think Jusnik was a key factor. Would have been a key factor for Schumacher. It's not uncommon with rumours that him and Jusnik didn't get on, and I think the big one, which Steve said earlier, about sort of him coming back in as a manager, I don't know whether or not Argyle can go back or want to go back, Andy and Simon Hallett, to, a typical way a manager operates versus a head coach without a director of football. But I think if you're really weighing things up and they've had, maybe conversations preliminary to it, and it might have been Hallett has kept them very close to his chest with only him and Andy Parkinson. I reckon Dusnik would have been left out of that, being aware of that. But I think that's probably, Harvey, important, isn't it, for Schumacher? Come in, let me rebuild, let me bring some of the guys back in, park the differences, what happened over the transfer. You can't blame Shuey for going for the money, and if he wasn't happy with the way things were being run, and will it happen against Stoke if it is him?
Yeah, I think, well, obviously there's a lot of talk about Shuey, and I think my main argument of it is you look at the foundations of that team we've got out there now. It's all started from Shuey. Shuey was the reason Whittaker got to that £15 million price tag.
Yeah.
Shuey was the reason why Ballymun was one of the fan favourites coming his first 2 seasons. And I think he could be a big part in getting the best out of the players. He already knows the place. And like you're saying about the Doom Snip with the head coach and manager role, I think Shuey's it would be important for him to come in, lay all the cards out to Hallett back him 100% of the way, and give Shuey that trust. Let bygones be bygones, let the past go, and you need to act fast to keep us in this league this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Andy?
Yeah, you've got to let him manage. He did a good job the first time around, didn't he? With his first full season with us, got us promoted as champions. I just think having someone like a director of football looking over your shoulder all the time and influencing the way you want to play the game is not going to help any manager, any head coach. It's going to undermine them, and I think that's what's happened with Rooney. He's been undermined by the puppet master. We all call him the puppet master. And if you've got a guy coming in who wants to be the manager of the team and the club, oversees all the sort of training, oversees all the sort of the playing staff. And let's face it, Shuey knows a lot of these players. He's got alongside them. He's one of the lads, if you like. I mean, he'll go and have a good time with them. Vegas. They went to Vegas at that time, and that's what you need. You need a manager who's going to, get alongside your players. Get them all playing together, and they did play together, didn't they?
Yeah, it's the biggest one, and you noticed that over the previous success that we had, coming up, it's all about the togetherness, it's a camaraderie. You might not have, the 5, 10, 15 million pound players that some of these clubs are fortunate to have, not just in 1 or 2 players, multiple players, but if you can have that team bond, going on together, and it doesn't take much to disrupt it. Shuey going wouldn't have helped the situation, the decision then to find someone at quite a crucial time of the season, with Foster then coming in, and and everybody, Sergeant Major-esque as almost with Foster there, Andy. You can't get up until I've eaten. Yeah, everybody's heard those rumours, and I think it's very much sort of disjointed, a lot of that. And I think, there's still a lot of players there. JB, we haven't talked about the loans, but JB, will he want to stay? That's a big factor. I think some of those players like Edwards, Whittaker, etc., will have a big influence if Shuey is down to return on him. But it is one of those where having that bond and that togetherness, fighting spirit can see you through and get points more than, at times when you haven't got the budget for multi-million pound players. Marcus, what's your thoughts, Marcus?
Well, I think the only man really for the job who knows the area, knows the players, is Shuey. There's no one else it possibly can be. He knows how to get these players fired up. So just go for it. Forget the past, bring him in, and then crack on. Because he's the only man who really will give us a 50-50 chance of staying up.
Yeah, I think so. I think any other manager coming in, it's going to be a difficult one. I'm going to touch upon the investment now. That I know a few people are gone. It's gone quiet. I mean, some people. Yeah, some people have to be reminded that the club do not have to give them an update every bloody week because Bob on X says they must do. It's that investment could have been unbalanced with the Rooney situation. What the investment could have also done is allowed the recent decisions to happen and to bring Shuey back, because that could be on the cards, and that could have been an interest to Shuey for Hallett to give him that. It might not come until the end of the season, so we don't know until there's another update from the club, whenever that will be. But yeah, I think it's the best
do you
option.
think if he does come back, he'll kind of not grovel, but kind of give us kind of an apology? Because when he went to Stoke, he said he learned more at Stoke than he would have ever learned at Argyle, and that comment always
in 5 years,
kind of comes back to what did he mean by that? Did he mean that we were unprofessional, or the budget, or
So one way, certainly, I wouldn't say the management of the club is much different when you consider that they just fire and hire and fire and hire. So there's that one. I think there's one other way of looking at that, Carl. If you're Simon Hallett, and you could say, I tell you what, then look, we've got this investment that's potentially coming, which will bring in some significant funds. Tell me what we're missing then, and sit down with me. We'll talk to the investor. Tell us what you think then that you've learned in your short spell at Stoke that made you make those comments, and how can we then look to implement that? It won't happen overnight, but it will certainly be things like training facilities, the depth of backroom staff, the depth of the administration staff.
Infrastructure.
Not that word again.
But it is that I would use that as an asset to take that and work with him to try and build on that. If they get together, and say, look, come back here, let's work on this. Let's get this club going. Let's get it to where it needs to be. Infrastructure, as you say.
If the worst comes to the worst, and we do get relegated, there's no better manager you would want in charge than someone that won the league with 101 points.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a lot of it's been, I must admit, the past, it's been tough. We've tried to stay positive. I know there's a lot of people that also try to stick with the Rooney situation. It's not easy with the situation that's gone on. I will say some of the comments about Hallett and all that lot are just outright shocking. But you just
I still think he's got to come out. He's got to not give an apology, but he's got to give his reasonings, his honest reasonings behind the Rooney appointment, because that has been an utter balls up. And that whole interview with Simon Jordan on TalkSport, it kind of always leaves a kind of a sour note in the mouth, because you don't hire Rooney on his past jobs, and to say that we're a data-driven club. And they've clearly not looked at any data at Birmingham or anything else, or his previous jobs to kind of come to the conclusion that he was the best man,
I still think it's to do with choosing it.
It was it obviously was trying to get the media attention on the club. You don't hire Rooney because he just gave a fantastic interview,
Well, to be fair, he might have done. Look, it's the same with everything. Like, I just read a message from Gavin, who's listening in. Everything about what's happened here, he's right. I alluded to it earlier. It's all conjecture. There's no truth behind. A lot of stuff that there is issues. Things will come out probably over the next week or so from players, like it did under Foster. But I just think when people like Simon Hallett get out of my club. Well, first off, it's his club because he owns the club. And I just sort of think to myself, look, is Simon Hallett sat there going, well, yeah, sod you all. I know he can be difficult with one of those comments. He said it makes some of the fans' comments makes him want to dig his heels in. But he is an Argyle fan. He will be hurting as well. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think he's done. I stand by it. He's absolutely set the club up in the right way by building some foundations. You don't just go in and go, oh yeah, throw a load of money and let's just try and get the success. That will blow up in your face if it goes horribly wrong. The club's value now is highest it's ever been, even though it's not profitable. It's highest it's ever been because of what he's done. And I think if Schumacher comes back in, it will sort of be the end to a perfect week, wouldn't it, for all the fans? It's because you will see a bit of light, I think, at the end of the tunnel, but it is still going to be a bumpy ride, no matter what, because
But
we have got to win away.
Yeah, you'll never
Yeah.
please everybody. If we didn't go down the route of investing in the whole Brickfields development, fans would say, we're not planning for the future. We're not looking at
win.
the youth system. You can't win. We have to do both at the same time. But yeah, it's obviously going to be massive for us going forward, Brickfields. But yeah, you'll always get fans that will side of
We've got to try to avoid going down,
Yeah.
guys, because if we go down, that's 24 million we're going to lose next season in revenue, because that's what Sky's going to be pumping into clubs next season, 24 million.
Well,
Yeah,
not just that, though. Not just that. You're going to have seats as well. There was 17,000 there today. I don't think we've even touched 15, 14,000 in League One unless we're top of the league flying.
Yeah. The first time 17,000. Thanks, Harvey. Yeah,
And there were still empty
photo
seats
of that
as
on
well.
the screen. Yeah, just an interesting one that Gavin has popped in my WhatsApp to me. Schumacher's house came off the market recently. The house down here came off the market recently. So we all know that is missing. Whether or not they had the house here, whether or not she was still living down here, but supposedly his house has come off the market. Could it all, as Gavin and I, as I said to you, we're going up on Saturday. Harvey will be there. There's probably a good few of you. We're on 954 viewers, which is just fantastic. Loads of you will be going, I'm sure. Can we turn up to Stoke on Saturday with the most bizarre of situations where Schumacher is then in the dugout? And not only that, it's Mark Robinson's first game wasn't today. It is against us on Saturday. That is going to be an interesting one. Don't expect miracles, though, because we've still got that weakened squad. But it certainly is a boost. That's for sure, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, you've seen it. You've seen it before. Well, we've seen it actually with Shuey. When Shuey come against us as a Stoke manager, he took 6 points. So who's to say if he comes in, that's his first. That could be his first 3 points. The Stoke fans never really disliked him. They wasn't too happy about his sacking earlier on in the season.
It's the whole John Walters thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's it's going to be interesting, I think. And just a note, just sort of for all those that have joined us tonight, just sort of we'd love to break 1,000. There's 954 of you in, which is incredible. Look, we are the Block 9 podcast. We originally started off, for those that remember, as HP Source and a very famous incident by myself on that one, which can't repeat, but it is what it is for exposure. We did a lot on TikTok. Obviously, we're conscious of the great pod on here, Argyle Life, that do their live streams as well. Also, if you don't follow this Pilgrims podcast, they don't do lives, but Mark, Archie, Tom, Chris, the boys that do that. It's a brilliant listen with really balanced views. No issues with plugging the other shows. But yeah, we started off on TikTok, and that went well. For those that remember as well, I did a famous summer transfer window up at home.
Don't we still get hate from that from Argyle memes?
Well, I mean, yeah, we've got it at the end of the month, maybe. Yes, we did quite a few shows on there. Look, we just want to bring another angle to it. Just us. We're all Argyle fans. It's great. I love to talk, if you can't tell already. It's great. It's great. Yeah, exactly. It's great fun to do. We do want to bring where we give ourselves a bit more time between games. Normally, we'll try and go live an hour before Argyle Life do. So we aim to go live at 7 on a Sunday if it's a Saturday game. And effectively, I will try and put some slides up. You've seen the video for those that have been with us throughout the show, showing goals, player stats. I want to try and bring a bit more interactivity to the show. But do you know what? It's look, let's hope 2025, brings us. It's going to be tough, but Carl, let's just hope there's some light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah. What's your final thoughts?
I still think it's going to be a struggle, especially with that goal difference, because that's another point in itself. I just hope with the addition of Beidou, hopefully his mate is coming along for the ride as well. But yeah, we need to get this window spot on. We need to get the manager appointment spot on. Yeah. We need to see some money being spent. If Gibson's gone for 2 million, if Hardy gets contract away as well. We need to
Cooper's money.
We need to reinvest all of that into the squad to give us the best possible chance, and not just that trying to stay up, but give us, if we go down, a decent squad at trying to get back up again. You know.
Yeah, Marcus, what's your final thoughts tonight?
Well, I think I think we'll stay up. I think we're going to be positive. Go for it. Can't be any worse than 2024. So get Schumacher in. Things are looking good.
Yeah, it's almost Control-Alt-Delete and erase format, etc., 2024 from your Argyle memories. Yeah, Harvey, look, it's been good to have you and Carl back in with myself, Andy, and Marcus tonight. And your vlogs that you do and that it's all great fun. You enjoy talking about the team that you love. So yeah, what are you thinking going into 2025 for your final thoughts?
Well, it's exciting times, isn't it? It's, we flash back to a year ago today, and it was sort of the same where we was looking for a manager. It was up in the air and stuff, but this time it's a little bit different. I feel positive. I feel like we have the opportunity again to get Home Park rocking once more throughout this season with the opportunity of getting Shuey back. But yeah, it's exciting times. Yeah. Excited.
Yeah, can you give your channel a plug, please, Harvey, while we're on here?
Very, very kind of you. Very kind of you. So yeah, I do all the Argyle games, home and away. You can find it on YouTube, at Harvey England. So yeah, I do it home and away, and I give my thoughts, keep it unbiased as possible. And someone's got to travel to Norwich for a 6-1 loss and be ready to go to the next one. So I'm one of them.
To be fair, I did the Norwich game on coach last time we were in the Championship. I think it was 1-0 or 2-0 we lost. My memory's rubbish, but it's that's a tough gig that. So Andy, look, it's been an interesting one actually for us for 2024 as a pod. With what we've done and the engagement that we've had. It's you never know how these things are going to go down and how people will receive them. But we'll still do it regardless at the end of the day. But yeah, look, it's a time to sort of move on to looking forward to success and getting some wins away from home and, coming back and getting the good feeling back in the Argyle camp. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be key. If we can get that first elusive away win under our belt, that's gonna build up the confidence. The home form, it's not been too bad. All right, we've been too many draws recently. We've got to turn those draws into wins. I think that will come with the new players coming in. I think if you get, again, as Marcus said, if you've got the right manager there who can motivate the players, and you're gonna see the best of Al Haj. You're gonna see the best of these creative players in the side Sissoko, because they're all going to be sort of playing on the same wavelength. That bit of play for the first goal today was amazing. That sort of one-touch passes, and brilliant to watch, lovely to watch, and that's what we want at Argyle. Some fast-flowing attacking football like that. Skillful, pulling them around the pitch and stuff. Yeah, good stuff. So yeah, I can only hope 2025 is going to be a good one. Hopes we stay up. I think we do stay up. I'm going to say yes, we're going to stay up. Definitely.
It'll be even more impressive if we do it this season than last. It'll be a miracle.
Oh, you will, yeah. I think last season with Shuey going when he did at the time he did, and us taking like 6 weeks to get the manager on board and making the wrong choice. Whereas now we've got to December, same sort of situation around Christmas time. Managers disruption, and we need to get someone in there fast to turn it around fast and not faff around. And I think they've already got that in place with Shuey, hopefully. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I just thought we have hit 1,000, so much appreciated. Thank you very much, everybody. I am gonna, if I do this, will I get an effect from my? There we go.
Yeah. Does that work just with you?
No, you should be able to do it on your Mac, Carl.
Yeah.
So
I can do it. No, I can't do it on my Mac.
Before we go, I'm gonna play.
What happened there?
That's not that screen I wanted.
There wasn't that one.
Oh, it's because I'm sharing the wrong screen. I was going to try and play the interview at the end. So give me a second. Let's see if I can do this quickly. Media, screen share. Don't want that screen though. It's that one I want really, but it's not going to do it. Oh, I'll have to scrap it. I've got two browsers, Firefox and Safari, and I'm not logged into Facebook on Firefox, which is what I'm restreaming this through because it's more stable for it. But anyway, yeah, look, from to end, as we're an hour and 20 in with 1,000 viewers, look, I've really enjoyed. I never thought even myself, and Andy, I know, Andy does a lot on TikTok, the Grumpy Loyal on there. He does a little tries to stick to a routine of Tuesday night with championship chats. He does his Loyals Lounge, which can be a bit of an interesting one. In that one, see the comments. So look. Likewise, I'm on there, but I never thought when I put the video up on there, when we managed to stay up at the end of last season, that I would suddenly now sort of be sat in front of people. I've enjoyed the other podcast shows. It's great to be doing our own one and doing my own video content. Give us all a follow where you can. Of course, like I said, on Facebook, on YouTube, on X as at Block9 Podcast. You got myself at The Crazy Pilgrim across all those platforms. Andy is the Grumpy Loyal, Carl the Green Giant across most of them, Harvey with his, so look, we all love what we've done, and it's been, a really, really good 2024 from that perspective. I'm back at work tomorrow for one day. I've got Friday off and then going to be up to Stoke as an early start with as well, like Harvey is on Saturday morning. Let's hope we get Schumacher in and we pick up a point or at least score or maybe
First
3
away
points.
win.
Yeah,
First away
away from home. That would be a brilliant start to 2025. Gents, thank you very much for your time. Viewers, thank you for your time. Happy New Year, everybody.
And Happy New Year, guys.